What's going on, everyone? This is Kevin here, coming at you with Samsung Galaxy A55 5G camera tips and tricks. So stay tuned if you want to learn how to get the most out of all the various cameras here on your device. So this is camera tips and tricks for the Samsung Galaxy A55 5G. Now, before we get too far into things here, let me go over all the various cameras that we're actually getting here with the phone, because there are quite a few here. Now, one of my favorite things about the Galaxy A55 5G is that even though this is meant to be a more affordable mid-range device, we're still getting a lot of the various camera features that you would actually find with much more expensive phones from both Samsung and other brands out there. Now, with the phone, we of course do have the front-facing camera located in that hole punch, and the front camera is 32 megapixels. Then on the back of the device, we have a triple camera setup with a 50 megapixel main camera, a 12 megapixel ultra wide angle camera that can capture images at up to 123 degrees, and we have a 5 megapixel macro camera for close-up images. Now, if you're looking for a quick and easy way to access the camera app here on the device, all you have to do is just double press on the power button, and then just like that, it now pulls up the camera right away. Now that we're here on the camera app, this is the main rear camera right now. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that even though the main camera is 50 megapixels, by default, it actually captures images at 12 megapixels. So if you do want to switch over to that full 50 megapixels, simply tap on the 12, and then now it becomes 50. And then in exchange for that, you're going to have much higher resolution when capturing various images. Now, the reason why that's not the default, and 12 megapixels is the default instead, is because 12 megapixel images take up a lot less space on your device. So for most situations, that makes a bit more sense, but I'm sure there's many situations where you do actually want to capture 50 megapixel photos. Now here's the result of that photo that I just captured, and you can see here that there's a ton of detail. I mean, I can really zoom in, and there's great detail here. Now to get over to the ultra wide angle camera, simply tap on 0.5, and then from there, you can see you can fit a lot more content into a single frame here thanks to the ultra wide. That definitely is a feature that I find come in handy, especially when you're outdoors, because you can really fit a lot more of your surroundings into a single photo. Now there is an option here where it says 2, and technically that is a 2x zoom, but that is actually only a digital zoom. It's not an optical zoom, so really it's just cropping in. Now to switch to the front-facing camera, one way to get there is to tap on this button right there, but another option is to simply just slide your finger down on the screen here, and then now it flips over to the front-facing camera. Then to flip back to the rear camera, you can do that once again, and then it flips it back. Then from here, we can go over to portrait mode to get those nice blurred out backgrounds that I know that many people are a big fan of. You can also go here to adjust the amount of blur. So if you want less blur, you can do that. Or if you want more blur, you also have that option as well. We can also then flip around to the front-facing camera and capture portrait selfies. And what's cool too is that not only do you have the ability here to adjust the blur for the front camera as well, but you can also tap on this option here to crop out slightly for a group selfie. Also, you can go over to the standard photo mode if you don't want to actually take portrait selfies, and you just want regular ones instead. And then if you want to get to the macro camera, just go over to the More tab here, choose Macro, and then with Macro, we can get very close up and have things be in really good detail. I'll be honest though, I don't find Macro to be that helpful. I feel like instead you could just capture a photo with the standard camera, zoom in, and you'll probably be getting better results. Over here on the side, there's also fun mode, so that's kind of interesting. Basically, you can use different filters and things like that, so there's me right there. Kind of funny, I guess, really just depends. So, so it is cool that this is built into the phone itself, and it looks like it is powered by Snapchat, or at least many of these filters are. Now also under the More tab here, there's other options too. So there's Pro mode if you want to have a bunch of different customizations that you can make here. There's also an option for Pro Video, Night mode, Food mode as well, so it can really focus in on your food. There's also the option for Panorama, Macro as I showed you, Super Slow-Mo, Regular Slow Motion, Hyperlapse, Dual Record, and then Single Take. Now Dual Record is pretty cool because you can simultaneously capture video with both the front and rear cameras at the same time. You can also flip around what you want to do what, just like that, or the other way around there too. You can also tap on this button in the upper right corner to then make it a 50-50 view, or you can go back here to picture-in-picture view. There's also an option here, if you tap there, it'll actually save the videos in separate files, so that's pretty cool. Or you can have it save the video as previewed. Now, if you want any of these options here in the More tab to be down here in this bottom slider, simply tap on this plus button right there, and then from there, you can pick up any of these, so macro for example, and then move it down below. Now some of these other options too, like portrait mode and fun mode, you can actually take these out if you want to and not have them. You can't remove the standard photo or video modes though, but you can remove those other modes. But now that I have macro right there, I'll go to save, and then now you can see it here in the bottom slider. Now taking a look at some of these options here under photo mode, I already talked about picking between 12 and 50 megapixels, but you can see here this is for the flash. You can have no flash, flash on auto, or on at all times. There's also an option for a timer here, so no timer, 2 seconds, 5 seconds, or 10. There's also an option for the aspect ratio. So you can do 3:4, 9:16, or 16:9, which is great for video thumbnails. You can also choose 1:1, so square, or you can do full, which takes up the entire display here. So that's very cool too, that there's multiple options there for that. There's also an option up here for motion photos, so kind of similar to Apple's live photos. And then there's also an option here for various filters. So you can do standard filters and then also face filters. Then under video mode, you can see that the options up here do change slightly. So you can have the flash on at all times or on auto when recording a video. So that could be convenient. Also up here, we have an option for super steady mode, which is interesting to see on an A series device. You can also choose the video aspect ratio. So you can do 9:16, 1:1, or full. There's also the option for the video resolution. So we have choices here of 720p. We also have 1080p. And then we have 4K, which is also known as UHD. And then for UHD, it does max out at 30 FPS. But you can see here for 1080p or FHD, you can capture 60 FPS video. And then there's also options here for a video filter, so that may or may not be helpful to you. This option down here is pretty interesting too. It's called auto framing. So basically the zoom will automatically change to keep people in the frame. Now getting further into the features and settings here, we'll go up here to the gear icon, and then from there, there's a lot of other options here. Now many of these are already enabled by default, so one of them is Scene Optimizer, so it'll better optimize the way your images look. There's also scan documents in text, scan QR codes, also various suggestions as well, you can enable that. There's also the option here for swiping on the shutter button. So by default, swiping on the shutter button will create a burst shot. The other option here is to create a GIF or GIF. So let's try burst mode first. So there we go, I just took 10 photos very quickly there. Then we'll go back over to here and choose create GIF or GIF instead. And we'll try that. And let's see the results from that right now. So that's pretty cool. Then we also have an option for a watermark. So I actually really like this feature because I review so many different phones here in the channel, and oftentimes I do get it confused which phone took which photo. So you can have it show the model name of the device. You can also edit that if you want to as well. You can also add in a date and time, kind of similar to the old school film cameras. There's also the ability to pick the fonts. You can also change the alignment here as well. So you can have it up above in the corner. So really whatever you prefer. We also have high efficiency pictures, save selfies as previewed. We can also go to advanced video options, and this is pretty interesting. We can select 360 audio recording, so capture immersive 3D sound through your Bluetooth headphones with 360 audio recording. I'm not really sure who would use that or really where that'd come in handy, but that feature is present here, which is good to see. This one's also helpful, shooting methods. So basically we can choose here what we want the volume button to do. So by default, the volume button will capture a photo or video. So just like that, it'll capture the image. So either button will do that, but you can go to the settings here instead, pick shooting methods, and then pick zoom in or out instead here. And then now volume up will zoom in, volume down will zoom out, and it'll go all the way to 0.5x. Also under shooting methods, we have voice commands. So you can say one of these words and it will then actually listen to you. So let me try this. Cheese. Cool, and it took the image. We'll try a few more options here. Let's see. There's also floating shutter button, so you can enable that, and then you actually get an additional shutter button here that can move around. So that's pretty cool too. That could be convenient if you want to actually use that feature there. Let's see here. There's also show palm, so show your palm to the camera to take selfies or to start recording selfie videos. So we'll try that. Wow, and it worked on the first time. Very cool. We also have an option for grid lines. So if you're familiar with the rule of thirds, you can enable that here on the device. We also get a leveler here too, which could be helpful. And then one other thing I want to show you here, and that is settings to keep. So if you change various settings and you want them to stay, you do have the ability to set that here for certain functions. So you can have camera mode be enabled. So basically whatever you used previously will stay there. It won't go back to the default. This one's also helpful too. If you find yourself always taking 50 megapixel photos, you can choose high picture resolutions. Another option too is to keep different filters or super steady. So really just a lot of cool settings here within the camera here on the Samsung Galaxy A55 5G. But I hope you enjoyed this video on camera tips and tricks for the phone. If you liked it, definitely give it a thumbs up and let me know what you think about this device. Do you think the Galaxy A55 5G is a good phone and worth getting? Or do you feel like it should have offered a bit more than what we're actually getting here? Definitely curious to know. But thanks again for watching, everyone. This is Kevin, and I'll see you in the next one.